Today, I'm going to give a demonstration on plastic models on TPSs in short skirt type 2 or 3 fractures. 3 millimeter thick wires are used and a 3 clamp is used. These are special TPSS clamps which have a 1600% pull out of JES or Unix, and frame stability is equal to JES, equal to either of, and bulk lesser than even JES. This is made with space age technology. At the start, due apologies for just a bone model demo, no x-rays, no C-arms, no images. If you are interested in joining the course, learning about TPS system, or buying the implants or instruments, you can message me in WhatsApp. On this sawbone, I am drawing a short skirt 6 type of fracture, a short skirt 3 type of fracture, 3 or 4 type of fracture at and below the level of tibial tuberosity, including a large chunk of the medial tibial condyle, which is separated and splayed both in anterior-posterior and mediolateral direction. The principle is a delta synthesis, meaning we will have one medial wire traversing down the medulla right up to the ankle, one lateral wire traversing down the medulla, one transverse wire. These are clamped with the delta synthesis. Then a hooked wire and an olive wire will be used for interfragmentary compression. I am showing the entire sequence to you step by step. We do not use power instruments. The special flexible wires of appropriate dimension is used. The first medial wire is introduced from the medial epicondyle of the tibia. The wire can be bent a little to allow easy approach in the linear axis. Once an entry is made, we follow the medulla and observe the progress of the wire under a C-arm, just like a tens entering the medulla and traveling upwards. This too will travel down to the ankle. The wire is now cut at a particular distance. This is a thick wire, so needs a little force to cut. Next, the second wire is attached, and this goes from the lateral tibial plateau, and again we are going to negotiate it down the medulla so that it just travels sharp of the ankle. It is essential to have a long intramedullary spread of these wires to conform to Mario Tangari's principle of a combination of internal and external stabilizations. Once these two wires go, the third aspect of the delta synthesis is a transverse wire which should go from the lateral to medial. Then the wires are bent parallel to each other and subsequently they will be clamped. That is the phase 1 or step 1 of stabilizing the proximal and distal part of tibia. We will also need to buttress the fragments and cause interfragmentary compression along with rafting, and this shall be done with a combination of an olive wire and a hooked wire. Once this wire is passed through to the appropriate length, we have the basic ingredients of a delta synthesis: 2 wires going up to the medulla and 1 transverse wire. using the special wire benders and pliers. The wires are bent so that they assume parallelity to each other, and this parallel distance should match the parallelity of the clamps so that the wires will just get snapped in from the lateral side. The TPSS clamps are extremely special because they are manufactured using very complex technology and have an exceptionally high pull-out strength. So long as the wires are bent parallel to each other, the wires can snap into the clamp from side. Unlike Unix or Just Clamp, which has to be threaded into the wire, we do not need to thread the wire here. We just keep the clamp and press the wires, and they automatically snap into the clamp. As simple as that. And it's a very rigid snapping on, almost impossible to pull out. There you go. And here's another one. This side also, we are going to just snap and clamp. The next step will be to align or buttress and pull the smaller fragments by hook wires and interfragmentary wire. A hook wire is a wire which is bent terminally to a very short distance, and then you pull the wire across and tighten it to the clamp to ensure that it causes an interfragmentary compression. You can see that the bent wire is put in the spindle, the spindle is tightened, and now we pass this from the medial to lateral to buttress the fragment. After it crosses the opposite cortex and exits the skin, we will shift the spindle to the opposite side and pull the wire so that it causes an interfragmentary compression. There you go, we have pulled the wire, and you can see that the bent or hook part will achieve an interfragmentary compression. This wire is also snapped to the clamp. As the clamps have not been tightened, occasionally the wire might attempt to jump out of the clamp if it has not been bent properly, and this has to be bent properly. We now take another 3 millimeter wire and bend it into a half circle. This will be useful for anchoring the posterior anterior buttress. So these are snapped to the two clamps to get the arc in hand. As each clamp is capable of taking up to 4 wires independently, we are able to manage all this with just 2 clamps. We have got the frame assembly ready. Now these 2 clamps can be tightened, and this front arch and the clamp can be used for an olive wire buttressing of the medial compartment, a medial fragment, which often has a posterior displacement. A long olive wire is now taken and introduced to the Tangari spindle, and from there we pass the wire in a posterior-anterior direction, keeping our finger in the popliteal area over the neurovascular structures to avoid injury to the vessels. We can see that the orientation should be correct and doesn't really matter where the wire emerges in the front, because the clamp can slide freely over our bent semicircular arch created out of a thick wire. This wire is again pulled close to the clamp and snapped in the clamp after appropriate bending. The key for success in TPSS system is that the wire should always be bent parallel to each other so that they snap into the washer of the clamp. Once the assembly gets a semblance of stability, we are tightening the screws fully to ensure that all the wires are clamped precisely and perfectly. You can see a posterior anterior olive. You can see a hook wire from mediolateral side, and you can see a delta synthesis of the frame. I hope this bone model demonstration gives you a rather clear idea of how to manage a short skirt type tibial plateau fracture minimally invasively without plates and screws and opening the fracture site, making it prone for complication. The spanner here points out to the posterior olive, which is attached anteriorly to the pulled arch and achieves a posterior buttress. And the other advantage here is we have a hook wire on the medial side, which again pulled and attached to the clamp on opposite side, giving an extremely stable assembly. With this type of an assembly, the patient can start moving his knee from the first day. Though unlike Ilizarov, we cannot weight bear on this assembly. Early knee movements are encouraged and facilitated, and up to type 3 and 4 short skirt fractures can be very elegantly managed by this minimally invasive system. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.